Yes, it is.
Yes. 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 We're live. We're here. We're back with Dubster Dive.
How unfortunate.
It's okay. Don't worry. I'm not going to go on a billion times about how y'all should read the manga, even though y'all should. But here we are with Berserk, the Golden Age arc films. Because I have to specify that now, since there's another version of this currently airing. How many times are we going to adapt Golden Age?
Well, you see, this next one is gonna have an inferior dub.
I'll get to that. Okay, so a lot of people know about the Golden Age arc films, and one thing if you ask people about it that have seen them, will tell you this is one of the instances where a lot of them prefer the dub, much like Black Lagoon or Hellsing Ultimate. Yeah, the 97 anime's dub was fine, but you could tell it was still a little silly in places. This dub is one where it's usually universally agreed upon. Yeah. One of those rare dubs that'll never probably happen again. I mean, dude, even the ad voice recycling was stupid, but aside from that, everyone seemed to fit down to the most minor characters.
Then some people were on every side.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. So for those who don't know, Berserk, we already went over the plot last time. Shall I put a link in the description or something of the vid? The old one. Well, the Golden Age arc films were made for the 15th anniversary of the 97 anime in 2012 by Studio 4 Degrees Celsius. People behind Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox, everyone's favorite comic of that era. The movie adaptation.
Aww.
They did Children of the Sea and Thundercats 2011 edition, which I heard wasn't garbage. I don't know. I was never big into Thundercats, never got into it. But yeah, they were released in 2012 and 2013. It was 3 films. And the films would then air an English dub on Neon Alley. I remember this was because my exposure to Berserk was the Dreamcast game, and then I thought it was cool enough, fell into the background until I saw these films on Neon Alley. Needless to say, that's what made me want to look into the manga. So, yeah, even though these films cut out a shit ton to the point where it's like, disregard any of my complaints about the 97 anime removing things, because holy shit. I still have a love-hate relationship with these films, because if it wasn't for them, I don't even know if I'd ever get into Berserk.
I mean, the stuff it seems to remove, it's like, why would you remove that but add other things with no context?
Yeah, so I mentioned last time they left out Skull Knight. They added him in this adaptation. So it's like someone on board realized, hey, the 97 anime was missing this. We gotta add this crucial character.
To add that, let's remove this.
Yeah. I mean, they also added the king wanting to be an Alabamian. If you all know what I mean, then you know. It's like some shit they added and other shit they removed. Actually, didn't you say you saw the fairy cameo, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the elf named Puck. He was supposed to be there also in the original anime. They cut him completely. Again, it's really bizarre. It's like because if you look it up, they're like, oh, we wanted to be more faithful to the source material. Is it being more faithful, though, if you remove like 80% of the other shit?
No. That's just being a cock.
So yeah, we did get all of that, but on the other hand, it's 3 films that are each around an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half apiece, give or take, condensing 25 plus episodes worth down to around 5 hours worth. Damn it, why? But anyways, aside from that, I've seen people legit say that they prefer these movies to 97. Fine, if you do, it's good. Again, I can't hate these movies. It's how I got majorly invested in this series. But I still think the 97 anime tells the story way better, personally.
Yeah. Like, one of the most minor things they removed is the context for why Guts was attacked by the Hawks in the first place.
Yeah, it just comes out of nowhere where they randomly attack him at the beginning.
Like he's just walking on this path and he's just randomly attacked.
Yeah, and it's like, what? Whereas in the old one, or in the manga or whatever as well, because they wanted to prove themselves because they heard he's a badass merc. Because, you know, they wanted to have their ego penis stroked. They also removed the scene where Casca
was a big sword.
Yeah, they also removed the scene post that where Casca saves Guts from being assassinated by Quarkus. Remember, Quarkus and his men were going to try attacking him at night when he was asleep, but Casca saved him because Griffith ordered him to be alive. Basically setting up the events that you know those two are going to get closer together because she protected him at that point against her better wishes.
If wishes were fishes.
Speaking of the side characters, holy shit, did all of them for the most part get completely neutered. If you're not Guts, Griffith, and Casca, well then, you don't matter. And even then, Guts, Griffith, and Casca's...
Even if you're one of those three, you're not safe.
Yeah, the development is rushed as hell, so... The battle for Doltree, when Griffith takes on the head of that fortress, Genin, who had... might have had fun with him when he was younger. Yeah, there's no context to that in these films. So when Griffith repeats the line to him, "You are nothing more than a pebble on the side of the road" to him, it just has no context or meaning to it. In the original, he's basically saying that as a way of saying, you meant nothing to me and always will be nothing to me. Because it's a way of, metaphor of him conquering that shit from long back. Like he doesn't care about it anymore. But hey, we get it. The movies cut shit out. So let's move on from that, though, and talk about the thing that these movies did popularize because of how successful they were. The fucking CG.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could more or less almost single-handedly blame these films for bringing 2D and 3D CG together in collaboration into the anime medium.
But, everything, all these modern things learned nothing from it because you can't blend bad CG together with animation, which is what people are doing now.
Yeah. I mean, I did hear people say that the CG during the, at least the Eclipse portion of it, when they're in that realm, looks really good for this movie trilogy. That's clear where all the budget went for it.
It looks fine a majority of the time. When you're first seeing it, it's just hard to get used to.
Yeah. As far as that goes, though, I guess the 2D animation still looks fine, too, when they do use it, because I know they use it a decent amount as well. That's one of the limitations the 97 anime had, was the shoestring budget, and you can really tell in that situation, comparatively from what everyone says. As far as the composer goes, though, this time it's not Hirasawa. It's now Shiro Sagisu. You all know, the guy that did Bleach and even Jellyfish. Which, I have a slight bias towards him, because, again, he's composed a lot of my favorite OSTs. I guess...
but no Gotcha's theme this time, so we couldn't laugh.
I mean, we do. It's just called Blood and Guts this time, and that's the theme that, the theme that plays. Particularly the one that, on the Spanish guitar, when he's doing the 100-man fight. I actually like that version a lot.
But it doesn't have that stupid thing attached to it.
The meme. Another song I like is My Brother. That's the one that plays during their fight for Doltree. But yeah, I guess if I had to pick, I'd say Hirasawa's better at doing the more somber moments, when they're having discussions and character talks, so I prefer Shiro's battle themes. Be cool if we got some weird Yeah, some weird amalgamation of the OSTs. I wonder if they're doing that in this new version. No, I seriously don't know. I guess we'll find out. But hey, just after that, it's time to get to why this is called Dubster Dive. So this was dubbed out of NYAB Post, much like the original, so they were able to get 90% of everyone back. Something I really hope they're able to do now, but based on what we know so far, it doesn't look like it. ADR director, once again, is Michael Sainter Nicholas, with script being Stephanie Shea. I am not going to go over everybody again, because that just feels redundant.
As per usual, they're both ad voices.
Yeah. I'll go over the replacements, though.
Actually, I'm pretty sure she voices Shota Griffith.
Actually, she might.
Yeah.
Honestly, don't remember off the top of my head.
He's only in like a few scenes, but I'm pretty sure it was her that voiced.
Well, let's get through the couple replacements we do have. First, we have Corcus, everyone's favorite asshole. Now he's Doug Airholes. You don't know him. H.A. Morrow! What, you didn't think I'd forget, did you?
Oh, you mean someone who's right at home playing us?
Yeah, or Hazem on Blaze Blue. Dude, he is perfect as this character. This is the thing, that, again, everyone is perfect in their roles. Though for some reason, Rickard is still called Rickard in this dub. Why did they forget the second R again? But yeah.
Yes.
Doug Airholes is great as him. The next one we have is Pippin, the strong, silent dude who barely talked anyways, but now he's Patrick Seitz. You know, Endeavor.
And he still doesn't really talk all that much, so nothing has changed.
But he's Endeavor and Loxus, man. I mean, Patrick Seitz still got his work anyways, guys. Don't worry, because he's 8 million ad voices. You know we've been at this too long when they're walking through the torture chamber area, and you just hear someone screaming in the background, and we can tell it's Patrick Seitz screaming. Just a random ad voice in the background.
When by screaming, we mean being tortured in the background.
Yeah. There's also a bunch of one-off guards and all that shit, too, so...
As per usual.
Well, speaking of other replacements, this one's just odd, but a lot of people probably won't notice. Hell, I didn't even notice when I watched these back in the day. Probably wouldn't have noticed now if I didn't look it up. The Princess Charlotte that Griffith wants to bone for his political campaign. In the first movie, she's still Rachel Willis, but in films 2 and 3, now she's G.K. Bose. You know, Senna from Bleach and Laura from SF5. Everyone likes Laura Dye.
If you didn't know ahead of time, you probably wouldn't even notice. She doesn't even really talk all that much to notice.
Yeah, most of her dialogue is in the second and third movie. In the first film, she only says like 2 sentences. But hey, her daddy, the King of Midland, is Chris Smith. And who doesn't love G?
Wonder-wise?
I mean, hey, it seems like he'll be back for Bleach. Yeah. He's fine as the king. I mean, Chris Smith is one of those I don't think we've ever had any shit roles by him. He needs more love, man.
I mean, people will disagree because they hate Rufus.
Not his fault on that one. But hey, Mike Pollock is there as a Don. And he's still the same. Passed down through the generation for 1,000 years. My favorite thing was when he's like, hey, look, it's the commanding officer of your army. And Koska turns it as the distraction technique passed down through my family for 1,000 years. What? I don't even understand. But yeah, speaking of that place, let's go to the tutor force, I guess. Boss Khan, who's the leading commanding officer of their army for Daltrey, voiced by TJ Storm, or as I like to call him, TJ Hooker. You know why. Who's Agnes from Devil May Cry 4, and Bernie from SF5. Go ahead, Di. I know you want to say some of the stuff you mocapped for.
What, Godzilla in the modern Godzilla movies.
Yeah, they're definitely not getting him back in the new dub.
Iron Man in Civil War.
But most importantly, though, wasn't he in the Street Fighter 90s movie?
And the MK movie.
It has begun.
Also, anyone who played Dead Rising will know him as Brad.
Yeah, he's great in this role too. He comes across like the no nonsense person you don't want to fuck with, which means he gets to fuck Guts in the Kenpachi way. Get your minds out of there, guys. Come on. Speaking of which,
the only one that wants to fuck Guts in that way is Griffith. Wait.
I love that scene when Guts and Griffith, when he's talking about, like, if I win this duel, you're mine. Oh, does that mean you want me in that way? Great. Well, if you win, fine. You can have my sword or my ass. But yeah. As far as the leader of Daltrey, the commander himself, who's more or less just a figurehead, Genin, the one who's like, leave Griffith alive. I love him, which in this film has no context as to why. He's voiced by Steve Kramer, who's Shunsui in Bleach. Actually, I wonder if they'll get him back. And,
I mean, he's been in stuff recently, so they have no excuse not to.
yeah, he's fine. I don't really have any complaints about him. He's good. Playing this creepy as fuck old dude who's going on about how much he loves Griffith.
I'll play Shunsui, doesn't matter. What matters is he was Booze Man in 2 Year Eternity.
Yeah. As far as the last new character that's major to go over, Skull Knight, who's voiced by Jameson Price, and I've seen a bunch of people love his portrayal as this character. Maybe we'll get him back. Maybe. It is Lou Boo from Dynasty Warriors 8. He's...
I mean, the last person you thought they were going to get back is Dan, but look where we are.
With Bleach, yeah. Papa Taker. Well, that's who Jameson Price voiced. And yeah, speaking of which, the filters for all the characters, like Skull Knight, who's Skull Knight, I might have mentioned before, he's a supernatural entity also warring against Zod and the forces of the God Hand, so he wants to help out Guts. Zod being his eternal rival because they're lovers or some shit. What? That's what I'm calling it. Zod wants to fuck him. In the Kenpachi way. Yeah, the filters they gave Skull Knight, Zod, and all the demons are actually really well done. They're not shit. How is it that we keep fucking this up in modern day where the filters are just terrible? Now, as far as the nitpicks you could give the dub, it's mostly the ad voice recycling, particularly one, Liam O'Brien.
He's on everyone's side.
Oh my god.
He's also Gollum.
Oh yeah, he's the torturer that goes after Griffith and gives him the full-on Gollum voice. Dude, that voice is so weird, man.
It 100% fits the character, don't say otherwise.
But yeah, he voices people on the Tudor side, he voices people in the Band of the Hawk, he voices people in the Midland Army, he voices some of the demons, he voices a member of the God Hand, do you get our point yet? It's kind of distracting if you know that it's Liam O'Brien.
Yeah.
Sad part is, though, I think...
like that are expected.
Yeah. I still think that we've probably heard worse, and that's the scary part. Oh, yeah. Sean Schimmel over there gets killed a few times again as well. Just like the 97 anime.
But this time he gets killed off screen.
But in short, yeah, Dub's really fucking good, actually. Damn it!
Well,
Now, the three that need no explanation, because we already went over them last time, are the three mains. But yeah, Mark Dorison, Carrie Karen, and Kevin T. Collins, yeah, they nail these roles 100%. And it's the reason that people don't want anyone else but these three touching these characters, especially after these films, where they just go on full on and become those characters. It's no longer just about voicing them.
fortunately, we can't have nice things.
Yeah. It's not like Carrie Keranen was literally just in Platinum End as well as a bunch of other things.
Oh, Platinum Man, the greatest use of ad voices.
Yeah, I take it back. This use of ad voices in the Berserk movies was nowhere near as egregious. But yeah, found out that this Costco was Carrie Kerenen's first role in anime, so that was a thing. The 97 anime, obviously. It's like, that was her first time voicing. Holy shit. But yeah. If you're wondering if you should check out these films, I'd say after watching the 97 anime. If nothing else, at least for the dub alone. This is one of those dubs that deserves to be seen. It needs to be believed. Obviously, I don't think I could really pick an MVP on this one because everyone fits their respective roles. Even Corcus, being a dick himself. But you can tell all of them love these characters. Since we were on the topic of the three mains especially. Especially Mark Dorison in the third Berserk movie. You know, when they're in the astral world or whatever, where hell is. You could just hear how pissed off he's getting at everything. Do you think he threw out his voice at all with all the screaming he had to do?
I'm sure he's used to it by now.
So yeah, go check out the films. They were on Netflix, but they're about to leave Netflix in about a week. Because of course they are. Which is kind of frustrating since Netflix, since our last video, announced that they got the 1997 anime license. So you got the rights to the 97 anime, but you lost the streaming license to these films? Damn it, Netflix. Speaking of losing licenses, Viz also would lose the rights to the Berserk films. I guess they were too busy taking shots at the Bleach fandom and acting like babies in order to renew the license for these films.
Yep.
Well, it's okay. Because I'm sure they're, with the new Berserk anime currently airing, which, by the way, real quick, did you know there was supposed to be a fourth film from what I was looking up somewhere, but apparently got canceled? Fourth Degree Celsius was going to be working on a TV anime. At least from what I could glean of it, like some of the canceled screenshots and footage leaked online. But instead of their anime, we got 2016. What the fuck did the Berserk fandom do to deserve such a masterpiece? Berserk 2016 is great.
I know it, but you can't wait to go back and relive the memories.
Oh, I hate that anime so much. Anyway, yeah, so also after the 97 thing, I was like, I wonder if they're going to make another Berserk anime. Literally like 2 weeks later, they announced the Memorial Edition of the Golden Age films, which is apparently a recut of these films with additional scenes, and they're turning it into a full core anime series. That's cool. I'm sure the dub is going to be... Crunchyroll got the license to it, didn't they?
Yep.
Fuck. Well, it's okay. Crunchyroll are probably going to get everyone back. I mean, they haven't been above going out of their way to get voice actors. Okay, looks like we have to talk about it in the context of this situation. Yeah, the mob psycho shit. So Crunchyroll, I'm not going to get too deep into it until we do an episode on Mob, which probably will come at this point. But more or less, they don't want to pay union VAs. Whatever side of the argument you fall on, fine, doesn't matter. The point we're getting at here is that it looks like they're probably not going to go out of their way to get the old Berserk cast back, because I'm pretty sure a lot of them are Union AF. It's really fucking so. I mean, hi.
Oh, you're gonna be like, man, I missed the 2016 dub.
You know what? I'm not going to be emo depressed about it until we have something to get emo depressed about. There's no point. Maybe they've learned from the backlash and will actually go out of their way. Just outsource to NYAB Post. Come on. You've done it before.
No.
You did it with Fena, Pirate Princess, that piece of shit.
But that's amazing. It's the greatest,
Knowing them, they're gonna pick the low-hanging fruit and just cast a black woman as Casca in the new dub too, aren't they? Race casting isn't clever, assholes. It's just stupid. Get the right person for the role regardless of their skin color, not because of it. Still don't get that, man. It's that whole thing where it's like, if 50 people audition for a role, and you just say, ignore all 49 people, this person can get the role, because, you know, they're this color. It's like, why? Even what if they suck at the role? Doesn't matter. That's more or less where we are at this point. It's just frustrating. Remember the old days? When you had to do hard work and everything? Didn't matter? You weren't, like, everyone was on equal footing?
Because apparently having a tan means you're black.
Yep.
That's where we are now.
That's their mindset. Well...
No, clearly that doesn't make them look Italian. It makes them look black.
Fragile? Maybe it's Italian.
Who's racist again?
They're the ones breaking people down to nothing more than their skin tone at this point, and sexuality in terms of, you know, casting a gay person as a gay character, so... Technically, if you're breaking down someone to nothing more than those two things, that makes you the one that looks fucked up. But we're getting off topic here. The point is...
Well, they're owned by Sony, so...
Yeah, yeah. All I could say is this, Netflix, you got the rights to the Black Clover film. Why the fuck couldn't you save Berserk while you were at it? Oh, don't get me wrong, I have my issues with some of Netflix's decisions when it comes to some of the dubs they've produced. Speaking of which, we could...
of Fena...
What? I said Netflix.
The thing it ripped off.
Oh, yeah, Haven Jellyfish. But I was going to bring up Tiger and Bunny, which we got coming up. You know, the one dub scene that everyone memed. Perfect. But yeah, so, point is, we're getting off topic. All right, we don't know what's going to happen with the Berserk dub. Let's have hope, but I'm not expecting too much from Crunchy. In the last 2 weeks, they've managed to lose Bleach, Black Clover, and collectively piss off the mob fandom, so... I mean, you can only fuck up so many times before you get something, right? Right?
Your stock can only go so low before your owners have to yell at you, right? Oh wait, they're colossal fuck-ups too. Hi, Morbius.
It's Morbid time. But alright, guys. That's good, really. Only 2 Berserk adaptations left so far. 2016 and the Golden Age films. Or Golden Age Memorial Edition, whenever that gets dubbed. I really don't want to talk about 2016, though. Why? As far as next time, Tiger and Bunny is coming back, so you all know what that means. Most likely it'll be that. Second half of the season. I know now you're excited.
Yeah.
It does make you wonder, though, if these films are going to stay obscure forever now, because it seems like they're trying to bury them to replace them with the Memorial Edition, which would be fine. I would not care if it wasn't for the dub. That's the only thing. Fuck, man. But enough bitching. I'm getting out of here. We're gonna go do something. I don't know. Hope you have yourselves a great day. Thanks again for watching. Let us know what you all thought of these films. Maybe you got into Berserk with them too, or I don't know. But just
tell us why you're gonna go watch Morbius again.
I've never seen it. Maybe I should check it out. Maybe it's good. Here's hoping the new Berserk dub gets at least the 3 mains back, if nothing else. Still think Griffin Burns would make a good judo, though. Well, I'm just saying, if they can't get him back.
You're really overestimating them if you think they're gonna go outside of Texas at all.
What's a Texas? Alright, guys. Sorry for the bitching, but we're done. We just really want this next Berserk dub to actually be good. It's hard to have hope when Crunchyroll are being crunchy. But anyways, if you have the chance, go check out these films. They're getting harder and harder to find, so you might have to, you know... Last thing I'll say is, the phone is fucking ringing. No, that's not the last thing. Is apparently there is a fan-made project called The Band of the Hawk Cut, where they edited together the 1997 anime with the new scenes from the Berserk trilogy. See, the fandom fixing mistakes. So if you have the way to, I guess you could watch Berserk that way.
As old as Sega.
What, fixing the... Fans fixing mistakes?
Making the games that Sega can't.
Yeah. So, I guess if you had... Oh, your phone's ringing. Too, just like mine was. Maybe it's the same person. But yeah. So if you have a way to, I guess, like I said,
so you can do the closing. I needed to actually take it.
So watch the 97 anime and then the Golden Age films is my recommendation. Golden Age films have content that's missing. It even goes past the eclipse and gives you the post-aftermath of that, which the 97 anime more or less kind of cuts. But if you're going to guess, I fucking love the series, and I just want more people to experience it in any way possible. I will thank Netflix for saving the 97 anime from hell, though. And one of my friends messaged thinking that they're probably going to redub it Ava style. Please don't. Look, I have enough trouble worrying about the stupid Memorial Edition's dub. Don't need another. But alright, guys. Rambled long enough. Thanks again for watching. Glad you put up with our pitching. Hope you have yourselves a great day. And Griffith did everything wrong. Wait a minute. I mean, did nothing wrong. No, fuck Griffith. Till next time, guys. Bye.